Hi, in Munch and Mull, we've always endeavored to make millets very popular because they are superfoods, especially in the context of lifestyle diseases like diabetes, cancer. So there's so many issues that millets can resolve. Now, millets have always been popular in rural India, but today they are getting more popular among the urban Indians also. But what about foreign lands? So today we have a very, very interesting person in this podcast episode of ours who is an Indian who is basically from Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu, and who is settled in Canada for the past almost 20 years. And this person is on a mission to popularize millets in Canada and US. So there's lots of interesting things coming up in this episode. So you have to stay tuned till the end to know what's in here for all of you. So our special guest today for this podcast episode is Muthuswamy Sathyamoorthi, and now he's popularly called as Sam Sathyamoorthi. He is the founder of S V Millets based in Canada. Over to Sam. So we have Sam with us here today. And by the way, how did we meet each other? Sam found us out by watching our Munch and Mull videos, and there he is right all the way from Canada. He's come to Coimbatore to meet us. What a great privilege for us. So S V Millets actually stands for Sam and Vignesh. Vignesh is his son. So Sam, we would like to know your personal, educational and professional background before you started S V Ventures in Canada.
Namaskaram, Sujata. Thank you so much, and I'm so happy and privileged to be here for this particular program. I really love your Munch and Mull. It's one of the exciting videos I watch. Let me give a bit of background about me. I am born and brought up in Tanjavur. I'm from an agricultural family. So, you know, the place popular Thiruvayaru, the Jagarajar, the Aradhanai. I used to walk 8 kilometers from my village to the school one way. That means 16 kilometers. I used to go to school and come back in the fields. That's my background of childhood age. Then I studied up to grade 12 there.
So you grew up among the agriculture fields.
That's always we are in the field, except the school time, even the evening hours, Saturday, Sunday, we go to the field, work with my mom and dad, and put our own hand into the field and everything. That's part of the life I've grown. So agriculture is part of my gene. You know, that's what I love to be part of the agriculture, but happened to be, straight up D route. We went for higher studies. I went to Chennai for my higher education. I did my graduation, post-graduation. I'm also a law graduate. I started as a lawyer in Chennai, and by the time simultaneously I did my cost accounting, chartered accounting, and also became a finance person. Somehow I have not settled well with the legal profession. I don't know why, but I'm very fond of and passionate about the numbers. So then I went to finance field. So then I got into a good company in Muscat. Almost I was there for 10 years. Started as a cost accountant. In overall, I spent about 35 years in corporate world. Started as a cost accountant and went as a controller and director and a senior director of finance in big companies. Example like Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, I was there. And Cadbury Chocolate, I was a finance in charge for US, Canada, Mexico. I used to travel a lot, set up a lot of facilities for them. Then I was a finance director for one of the big leading food company in Canada. It's called Maple Leaf Foods. Maple Leaf Foods. It's about 15,000 employees all over the country, and it's a big company. So almost I spent 35 years in corporate world in different countries. I worked in Hong Kong, I worked in Malaysia, I worked in almost all the Middle Eastern countries. Then I worked in Mexico and the US and Canada. So even though I worked 35 years, I was thinking about something to do with agriculture. As part of my retirement age. I want to do a bit early retirement and focus on how can I take this agricultural product and give it to the people outside the country, overseas, how I can do. That's why I can get better price for the farmers. I know that they don't get. As a farmer, I know how much harder to grow and we don't get anything. All the middleman makes the money in the process. I can play a better role with my experience. I was thinking about it.
It's really thoughtful of you to be seeing how you contribute
Yeah.
back to your own country.
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I've been thinking about, but I don't know what to do, which product to choose. That's what I was thinking. And finally, I think before COVID, my son is a graduate from University of Toronto. He's in commerce and with a specialization in marketing and economics.
He's talking about Vignesh.
Yeah, that's my son, Vignesh. So, but he is also interested in a business venture, and he's not interested in going for a job. Then I thought about it. Okay, it's coincided with my idea of doing some sort of a business with India, and then we both thought about it, what to select. At that time, we thought about. It's casually happened. One family came to our house, and my son wanted to reduce his weight. And the family is a doctor family, and they suggested him, why not you try millets?
Okay.
And my son said, okay, if I try millets, will I able to reduce my weight? He said, no, try, but use 3 times consistently, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and throughout the period, you will see the reactions. And then finally, we made the point that time, it's a COVID time as well. Okay, let's start eating millets. And I started myself cooking millets. I learned a lot of, including your YouTube videos. So that's all inspiration for us. And we use all these videos and try to make porridges, try to make millet rice, and try to make idli dosa, so that we can get a variety of foods for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and Monday to Friday, and weekend some variety of millet food. And so that at least, it's not like a 1 or 2 product, it's a multiple product. And we like a stable food for us. And we enjoy the food. That's the way it works in the long run.
And I think diversity is the key to nutrition among grains. Even in millets, there are so many different types of millets and forms.
That's
For example, here I take this opportunity. This is poha, that is flakes. So this is pearl millet flakes. This is again marketed by S V Millets. These are sorghum, that is jawar flakes, and so easy to use as well as nutritious. Just like instead of cornflakes, you can use these flakes, and they are much more nutritious and healthy. Yes, Sam.
That's correct. That's correct. So in that process, we started using millets, and then we found about in 3 to 4, 5 months time, the weight started dropping, and I lost about 30 pounds in 6 months. My son lost about 30 pounds, and then we found we are able to make also good food on that one.
Correct.
So that's what happened during COVID time, and that's a turning point. Then I thought it coincided with my idea doing something back with India, agricultural product. We got millet now.
Wow.
And that's what we landed in millets. The question is, the next step we'll talk about how to take this millet to
forward.
The people.
I mean, millet eating is multi-dimensional. It contributes, and by your venture, I think you're trying to contribute to the farmers within India, and at the same time, you're contributing towards the health of an average Canadian.
That's right. See,
it's amazing.
Correct. The way I thought about it, I have about like 35 years of multinational experience, starting from manufacturing, logistic, distribution, sales and marketing, how everything works. And with my educational background, with the legal, finance, all sort of marketing and sales experience, everything. And I thought I can use this knowledge and to take this product the best way to the people. And with the young, energetic my son, with the new concept of marketing and sales and ideas and everything, I thought this is a good combination, so that I can get the experience. He can bring his new ideas, and we work as a team. What best we can do.
Super, a father-son combo, and it will definitely work.
Yeah, that's the journey started.
So that's really interesting, Sam.
Yeah.
So Sam, you said you and Vignesh were consuming millets for 6 months.
Yeah.
So what were those changes that you saw in yourself and Vignesh that actually inspired you to start S&V Millets?
Yeah, that's a good question. When we started millets eating for breakfast, lunch, dinner, we made a clear mind, consistency. Don't give up few days and things like that. Make it consistent. Except we kept one Friday as a cheating day, which we go eat like pizza and whatever. But rest of the day we were sincerely followed the millets. But we could able to see gradual reduction in our weight.
Okay.
It started after 1 month, 4 to 5, 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then we do exercise also.
Okay.
Regularly morning, 1 hour, evening 1 hour.
I want to interrupt here, and especially for the benefit of the viewers, that being in good health, there is no shortcut. I mean, diet is very important, and along with diet, physical activity is of utmost importance.
Yeah, that's very important. And also, the discipline in life is very, very important. And you should enjoy the food. So since we developed a variety of foods, because millets, people think only they can make very limited amount of food. Absolutely wrong. Even if you can go to our website, you will find 100 food items.
Correct.
So it's like I'm saying idli, one food item. Dosa is another food item. I have 100 food items. You can make waffle, beautiful waffle out of millet. You can make even pizza base out of millet. You can make like a sweet out of millet. It's a lot of things you can.
I mean, millets in the Indianized context, you will find a lot of recipes on Munch and Mull too. Put chapatis, then biryani, fried rice. And in the westernized concept also, millet flours can be used to make pizzas, waffles, as Sam says.
That exactly we have developed. If you go to our website, we can see like American recipe, European recipe, Asian, South Asian, African, sweets and snacks and drinks. If you click each of that, it will give the food list of that recipes. And then there are videos how to do that one.
Wonderful.
So since we learned about it and we enjoyed the food, particularly our regular food is like morning porridges around 8 o'clock. Porridge. And then that takes us up to 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And then 12 o'clock we make a nice rice, kodo or foxtail, whatever the rice we make, very easy to make, simple. And then we add a rasam, a sambar and yogurt and things like that with vegetable. Our lunch is the best lunch we can have. And then night we go for a dosa or idli or sometimes chapati and things like that. Beautiful.
Made with millet.
We made everything with millet. And this helped us. We never get bored. We enjoyed it. I don't know how the time passes. It passes, but it brought the health benefit. I think at the end of the 6 months, we could able to see we both dropped about 25 to 30 pounds of weight.
Okay.
That made us, and not only that, during the day, we wake up like 4 o'clock in the morning. That's we both, my son and myself. And we go up to like 9:30, 10. That's the end. But during the day, the energy level is so good in the body. We never get tired. And people think that if you eat millet, oh my goodness, digestion problem, this problem will come, this problem, this hardness, and absolutely wrong. The reason why I'm telling, I'm eating millet for the last 4 years, all the 3 times. I do a medical checkup with my doctor, 35 tests they do on my body, and every result has improved year over year for the last 4 years.
Super.
In fact, my doctor was surprised to meet me. Oh my goodness, age is increasing, but your results are improving.
Wonderful. I would like to add a point here. Everything needs a little acclimatization. First day you eat millet and let's say you have a stomach upset, it doesn't mean that millets are not suitable for you. As he said, be consistent. Yes, if you eat for a month or 15, 20 days and still you're having the problem, then of course you need to rethink. But you have to give your body time to adjust to any new food that you are consuming. Just wanted to make that point.
That's good. Absolutely. I think we can make it like, there are small tips to be followed in millet, like a soaking in the millet, overnight soaking sort of thing. And then like a porridges with a little bit of, even when you cook porridges, put a little bit more time. Instead of 20 minutes, maybe make it 30 minutes. You cook well and things like that. It's a passion. It's a food at the end of the day. So how much you are giving important to your earning, but you have to give double important to your health. That's very, very important. You have to balance your life. So this is what helped us. Oh, great. This food is so good. It check mark all. It tasty. We look forward to our breakfast. We look forward to our lunch. We look forward to our dinner. And we don't need anything. Great, check mark. Number 2, our digestion system is good. Our daily routines and things like that. Absolutely good. And then no tiredness, weakness or anything. And the weight started reducing. The energy level is good. And also cooking. I myself cook millets with I'm a full-time senior director of finance. I'm also a tax consultant. I have 300 plus families filing taxes with me throughout the year. With all I find, I can cook this millet easily.
Wonderful.
It's a very small time to cook millet. It's very
But
simple.
like your eyes are gleaming when he talks about it. So he's so passionate about it that, you know, in spite of the busy schedule that he has made time to make millets part of their diet, and he takes that effort and interest to cook it. And I think that passion is important.
That's very important. That's very important.
And one more thing I wanted to add, like when I said, you need to get acclimatized, millets are high fiber, right? So they are a good source of prebiotic fiber for the growth of good bacteria. So that is why when you eat millets, actually, there is a lot of improvement in the microbiome or the type of bacteria that start growing in your gut. So these are all a lot of complex relationships, and we can go into another episode for that. But just what I want to say is millets are actually a good base food for your gut microbiome.
Absolutely, that's great.
And you were mentioning what changes your son Vignesh saw after having a millet diet. Can you just explain?
Yeah, that's good. So Millet is like a fat boy for a long time, and he has been struggling to reduce his weight.
Vignesh was like fat.
Yeah, fat. He's
Okay.
really fat, and he wanted to reduce his weight. He wanted to be thin and strong and slim. Like Rajini is a fan of like that sort of people.
Okay.
He's slim and strong, and he don't like the fat body. He tried various alternatives. He's a black belt in Taekwondo.
Okay.
And but still, he's not able to reduce the weight, and he has been searching for an option, working on, and finally, when he started about the millets, he was so excited about it. In 6 months, his body has become a thin.
Wow.
And that made him so exciting. And he's now want to take a commitment. He want to take the millet to the world. If that can make a big change in my body, it can make change to anybody. Which I've been struggling for so many years, but it made it started in 6 months, the results. So that's one thing of Vignesh change in his physical one, and mind, and the energy level, and easy to cook, and easy for digestion, very tasty food, all made us to go to the next stage.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have met Vignesh over Zoom calls, and he's absolutely a thin and lanky fellow, So very, very interesting, Sam, hear of your journey of how, what prompted you to start SNV Millets. So with Vignesh's experience of seeing changes in his own body, he had this great idea of taking millets to the world.
Yeah.
So what were the exact steps that both of you took to kind of bring SNV Millets as a fruitful venture? What were the steps that went into this?
Good, excellent. So once we have a 6 months of like cooking, eating millets, enjoying the benefits of millets, then we both decided, okay, this is great. But before taking into public, let us understand, if this is so great, if the millet is so great, why it is not popular?
Okay.
Why people are not using it? Okay, we are using it, we find it good, but why? Why? There are smarter people than us in the world. Why they are not using it? What is the reason? Then I told Vignesh, okay, since you got your graduation, everything, since COVID you cannot go to job, I got a job for you. Do it this. Go to Google, research. Get the full history of millets. Right from whatever the data available, whichever available, YouTube, wherever, Wikipedia, do research. That's your job full time. I'll give you 3 months time. Go and study what is the history of millet, why it's not popular, and what we can do for it.
Super.
And then he did amazing search. He spent all the time. He gone through a lot of videos that like Dr. Kadarwali's daughter, and he went to history, even Christian time, medieval time. He found all the names of the millets and everything. And then finally, I think he never took 3 months. He took just a month and a half. And then he said, Daddy, can you have time? We can talk about it. I cut the story. And I'll put it in a short form for you. And then you decide the next step. Okay, that's what the started. So once evening, sitting with me, he talked about, Daddy, this is what I can put in a short way. Millet is not a new product. This is ancient grains.
Correct.
Our forefathers, they lived out of millet.
Correct.
In fact, rice used to be the rare grain. They used to do it in a functions and festivals and things like some Rajas used to eat and things like that. Otherwise, millet is the food.
Correct.
What happened after the World War II? In 1945, at that time, so after the World War II, the chemical companies, the bomb makers, they thought they lost the job because there is no need for all those bombs and chemicals and everything. The war is over. They smartly thought about it. We should convert this chemical into fertilizer and pesticides. And that we should apply into the agriculture. Say selected paddy, rice, and the sugarcane and the wheat. These three crops grows out of water. Just put this fertilizer into the water. The yield will go 3 to 4 times. Since because of the war, people in poverty, economic was bad, they went to the government. Hey guys, I can produce 5 tons instead of 1 ton in the same amount of land. Allow me to put this fertilizer and pesticide. This will become a green revolution to the world. So you get food for your people, and this is a way we can use all this chemical fertilizer. That's the idea again. Unfortunately, government that time looking for food for feed the people. It's a war is over, economic and prosperity, nothing and everything. They called this as a green revolution.
But
by that, these 3 crops, mainly they selected wheat, sugarcane and rice. These are the 3 crops. And then millet don't need any chemical, any fertilizer. It's like mountain. It's based on rain. It grow and things like
less water intensive.
Very less water, and it's a natural grain. They hate the millet because it never gives them opportunity to sell their chemicals, sell the fertilizer.
No money involved.
No money involved. So the focus that forget about millet. They discouraged the millets. They encouraged the rice and wheat, and then that's why it became a popular. Another thing what happened, people started eating rice and wheat with the chemical growth, the diseases started coming.
Absolutely.
The pharmaceutical companies celebrated that. They went to the chemical company, keep doing more and more. Let the diseases, they started pumping all this chemical medicine, everything. Chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, government behind it, all supported. And that's happened last 60 years. All the diseases, if you research, cancer, everything grown during the 56
Even
years
mental, mind-related diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's.
That's right.
All this is on the rise. So it's absolutely shocking to actually hear this whole background of what has gone into suppressing millets.
That's correct. So this is the reason millet is not popular. Since everything works on a scale. If you don't produce more, you can't be cheap. And millet becomes also not available. Consistent quality is not, because there is no processing facility. Processing facility to invest money, you need a volume to process. But they don't have a volume to process. Nobody invests money in those processing facility. And on the contrary, all these wheats and the volume going on, there is a huge processing facility, everything, the cost dropping down. So people are diverted into the low cost rice and wheat. Then everybody forget about millet. That's a story in short, why millet is not a popular and it is not available, and why people focus more on rice and wheat during the last 60 years. Now things are getting slowly changed because the water level is going down.
Correct.
Because everywhere, even if you look at, then it struck me very well. If we go back to my Tanjore life, when I was a small kid, the Kaveri river used to come through the canal small and it gets into our lands. Then the Kaveri river stopped. It comes once in a while, limited time, and then we depend on the underground water. That time the underground water is available in 10 feet, 20 feet. Now it went to hundreds of meters inside. This shows that the water level is going down. So another important thing is also developing environmental issue. Now people are talking about environment, water level is going down, rainy seasonal fluctuation is coming. They said, thinking seriously, rice, wheat may not be sustainable for another generation. So now they are thinking back what to do as an alternative, and then millet comes on the top. Guys, I was there, you put me back, now you are finding me back. I'm there, no problem. But now we have to put efforts. But in order to make it as a stable food, you have to get the volume.
Correct.
In order to get the volume, you have to start eating it.
Correct.
In order to start eating it, you have to make people
Aware of it.
Knowledge it, everything you have to bring, open the eye, and so it's not an easy job.
Absolutely.
But the story is like that. He said, "This is what I learned from all this material. I learned it. Now you tell me what is the next step. We will work on it. What best we can do."
See, with so much of passion, Sam is speaking about it, and that really shows. And when this is in the context of a previous podcast also. If you remember, if you've seen our podcast, something that you take up with passion, you will go full throttle into it. Time will not matter, your effort will not matter, you will just go at it. And that's what I can see Sam and Vignesh just popularizing millets across the world, starting from Canada. So after all this research which was done by Vignesh, what was the next step? And by the way, Sam is close to 60, but definitely, probably the millets, make him look much, much, much younger, Sam.
Oh, thank you. Thanks to the millet, not to me. No, that's correct. So I think Vignesh, when he mentioned about, it was about 8 o'clock in the evening in my office, and we thought it makes sense to me what he was talking about it, and it perfectly aligned with my mission, goal. Okay, I want to do something with agriculture, and I got the product, what I want to do. Now I got the story. Now I have decided that time, people don't know. Even, in fact, I write a note to my CEO on the same next half an hour. Hey, I made my mind to leave the job in 1 year from now.
Okay.
Maybe I can make 15 months, but just make arrangement. I'm giving you enough notice. I'm leaving the job because I'm getting into a full-time venture which requires 24/7 of my time. It's not easy. It is challenging. It may take few years to get into that one. That much efforts and energy required. So I decided that. Then I worked with my son. Okay, let us do the next steps. What we did, we went to the stores. We went to all the Indian stores where millets are sold.
Indian stores in Canada.
In Canada.
Okay.
We selected about 80 to 90 stores, about 300 kilometers radius.
Across Canada. Okay.
It's one province.
Okay.
Canada is a really a large country.
Okay.
You can fly from one part to another by 3 hours flight. That sort of a country it is.
Okay.
So, but in our province, where a lot of majority Indians are there,
okay,
a lot of good population are there, because millet is familiar with the Indian and Pakistan, Sri Lankan community. That's what I mean. We went to the stores. We did each store, talked to the store owner, and asked about millet and what types available, what pricing available, how it is moving, and everything. We did elaborate search on that one, studied the whole. Then finally, we come to know a lot of news because first storekeeper says millet is not a moving item. Sorry, sir, the millets are not selling. I got some brands here. I will show you. It sits there for 3 months, 6 months. Once in a while, somebody comes and buy 1 packet or 2 packet. That's all. I won't encourage to you supply millet for me because I pay rent and I got electricity. Water,
so they are kind of wary of stocking
very fixed expenses. The product should move at least once in a month in itself to get some return for us to meet our but millet is not that category. Very discouraging news about millet is not selling. It's not moving.
So these shopkeepers were Canadians by birth, or they were Indians?
They're all Indians.
Okay.
Indians running the stores. So I never went to the Canadian because they only one millet is popular in Canada. It's called proso millet, which is like a bird feed sort of things, and that's all they know about millet. Millet means they always go to the proso millet. That's a millet, but they don't know there's 8, 9 varieties of millets, and each one is good. So that's a problem. Number one, people awareness is less. Number two, the price is very heavy. Number three, product quality is not consistent.
Okay.
Some are polished, some are unpolished. Some are, even if you buy, you can see the sand particle. Some are dust there. You can see that the quality is not consistent, because I've been buying millet and using it during that time. Already 6 months I've been using it. This is what happened, the quality. Number one, awareness. Number two, price. Number three, quality. And number four, many people don't know how to cook. Because whenever I buy a millet, I go to the cashier and the next guy will ask me, what do you do with this? This is standard question. And one fellow will ask me, I heard about this is good grain, but what do you do with this? Oh my goodness. This is 8 out of 10 times I see this in the counter, cash counter. The next guy asking me about it. That means all these 4 elements, the lack of knowledge, the pricing, the quality, the cooking skills are 100% very poor level in millet grain. So we come to know about this after our couple of months, 70, 80 store studies and everything. And then we have to think about how to attack it.
How much work has gone? How much of groundwork has gone?
It's a lot of study. We went into that, and then we decided we have to address these 4 items. Knowledge about millet. What are the different types of millet? What are the nutritional value of each? How that helps the body and everything. We have to give an educational background for the millets to the people. That's the first step. Number 2, we have to make sure the price drops. Today the millet is, and the rice 1:3. If $2 if you buy a rice, millet is $6
per kg.
Per kg. People cannot afford that big gap because Indian is Indian mentality. Even if you make millions of dollars, when you spend, you go for 5% discount, 10% discount, you go through that stage. So our people, even if there's a rice available, millet available, they'll pick up the rice is $2 per pack. But this is $6. And first we have to focus on the price, how to drop the price. And the third one, we have to make consistent quality. And decent pack, not 200 grams, 100 grams, 500 grams, something like that. Make it 1 kg standard pack, so that when they buy it, they use it for a few times and things like that. So consistent quality. And the big one, we have to get into these recipes. How to make millet food, tasty food, not just the porridge, kanji.
Correct. Different varieties of millet.
You can make n number of varieties of food. People should know how to do that. Sweets, snacks, and everything you can make. You can make drinks and everything you can make out of it. How to do that? These are the 4 items we need to address before we bring the product into the stores. And then we have to make small changes, everything. So we decided at the end of 6 months, after the discussion, everything, after I resigned the job, and then we spend both on the website.
Okay.
If we go to our website,
just to summarize the 4 things, if I remember, the types of millets available. Then second, you want the cost of the millets to come down. Third is the type of recipes that we can make, and what was the fourth?
The quality part of it.
Quality.
Ensure unpolished, good quality millets. That's healthier for us. So these are the 4 important points we put on the table. We have to develop a platform where we address all these 4. First, we have to educate people. That's why if you go to our website, svmillets.com, so that you can find about each millet. We have explained about each millet, and then what are the ingredients, nutritional value, what it helps, what are the, everything. And Dr. Kadir Wallis talked a lot about it. He's great. He did a great job on this millets. So we put a lot of blogs and where we brought his information as well. And we have provided a lot of educational material about millet, so that people can go to the website and learn about it.
Correct.
That's the first thing we address. It took us about 1 year to develop the website. Because we don't want to just to put, so it's not a commercial website, but ultimately we may use it for commercial purpose, but it should
more
be
of an educational website
part of it. So we spent about 1 year developing. My son did amazing job on that. Like he worked crazy hours pulling all the material. It's not only getting material, how to make it people read,
presentable,
attractive, presentable, easy to walk through, everything with attractive pictures and everything. Otherwise people get bored and all these things are there. So he put a lot of efforts. We used an Indian form.
And nowadays people's attention span has come down, you know, for them to be focused on a website takes a lot of effort.
So we built the website. It took about 1 year. We addressed educational part of it. We addressed the recipe part of it. The other things comes pricing and the quality offline a website. So then I thought about it, how to reduce the price and what's going on in the current process. So being a farmer family and being my experience, I just draw the supply chain of millet. The millet is grown by farmers, and there is a trader who buy from the farmer, give it to the processor. The processor process and give it to the packer. The packer pack it and give it to an exporter, and the exporter give it to an importer, and the importer give it to a distributor, and the distributor give it to the shop. The guy goes and buy the shop.
7 steps, I think 7 or 8 steps.
8 steps happening on that one. And the poor farmer getting like maybe 30 rupees per kilo, and the guy who is paying $7-8 at the store. This is what happening in the millet. And then,
how much is a Canadian dollar in rupees as of today?
For example, millet is one Canadian dollar is 60 rupees.
60 rupees.
If it is like a $7, it's a 360 rupees per kg or something like
more
that.
than 400 rupees a kg, and the farmer gets 30 rupees, not even less than 10%, which is absolutely
pathetic. So this is what happening on that, and I drawn the full supply chain and everything. One side the farmer is getting low, he is not encouraged to produce more. They hate growing millet because it's not making any money for them. Another side, the consumer hate millet because too expensive them to buy it. So this is happening, killing the supply side, killing the demand side. And because all this middleman, it is not a bread and butter for them. They deal with 100 products. Millet is one of them.
So it doesn't matter to them.
It is not a matter to them. Something like that's the way the millet is like a a side baby and something like you call it as like it's really bad. I got that whole supply chain knowledge, everything, since I spent my whole life, 35 years on the supply chain and where to cut the cost. I know exactly what to do. So, but it can't be done overnight. It takes time. Even if you have to reduce your weight, it takes 6 months to drop something.
True.
So yeah, it's not an overnight process. Then I laid out the process. Okay, I told my son, okay, there is a challenge here. We may have to absorb some cost in this process. Even though I start controlling the cost, it won't happen. It takes few years to get to the level we wanted it. First of all, we have to drop the price. And then we'll work on it. We have to put our own hand on it. So what I did, I made a small changes in the supply chain. It's not I'm not knocking off many, but I knocked 1 or 2. A small example, in Canada, I don't have a distributor. I import myself. I distribute to the stores.
So directly it's imported to you.
And also people can come to me directly. So that way I can knock off. In some instant, I can knock off distributor and stores. People can come directly and cheap. That's good. But still people go to stores because if you look at the statistics, 95% of people do groceries at the stores. It's not a very popular placing order and online for a grocery items. Correct. It's happening. So we thought, okay, it may take some 1 or 2 years people get popular, but millet is such that you don't have to buy every week, because I am the concept of online should come in a big way. You should go to stores and buy fresh vegetables, fruits, and milk, yogurt. And you should go only the perishable item to the stores.
Okay.
Non-perishable item, just to get it online, 1 month, 2 months consumption at a cheap, and have a nice mini store and use it. It helps you to drop the cost. And that's way we can help the people to reduce the cost. So we started online, and at the same time we started stores because we have to meet the 95%.
Online is through your website?
Through my website. Okay. They can place an order and then we will deliver to the house, or they can come and pick up from my place with a discount. The pickup discount, because I don't have to drive to their house. And
it's available as of now only in Canada?
Only in Canada. Only Canada. In particular, in Ontario, it is available, and other provinces I started moving on to that.
Okay.
So the price wise, are we able to address to some extent? Instead of a $6, we brought it like a $4 sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's a big change.
Big change, yeah.
It's like you are dropping 30% of the price right away. And that I did it. And then the recipe, so that we got the educational material, we got the price dropped, we got the quality, we sourced it from high quality, we put the recipe into the website. So we got armed ourselves. Now let's go to the market now. So that's what our step happened for the, till we started the distribution July last year. This happened up to July.
September. Yeah. It's almost 1 year and 3 months
that's
now.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's touching to hear this whole journey and hard work which has gone through to make their dream a reality.
Yeah.
Now, where are you? Like, having started the venture, at this stage today, where are you?
Yeah, That's good. So when we started, okay, we got the website ready, we got everything done. Now we started moving into stores. It was a big challenge for us to get a space in the store because the storekeeper are not interested in millets. Then I went and explained to them why millet was not popular. These are the 4 reasons. Now we addressed all the 4 reasons. Now you start putting our product with a reduced price and with our website display on the shelf so that people can go to the website and learn how to cook millets and everything, learn about millets, all the knowledge, everything. This should help some sort of revamping this product and get back into the people. And the storekeepers, initially with all the challenges, I could able to get few stores and started putting those millets. And, over a period of 1 year, I got about 100 stores in Canada in 350 kilometers radius. Still, I'm working in other part of Canada.
100 stores.
100 stores. I got about 100 stores.
It's a good number.
It's crossing slightly about 102 or something like that. But it's every store started moving well, and also we introduced more different types of products. We have millet grains, all the 9 grain, positive and neutral millet, all the 9 millets, and also we have flour form. For people who are making chapatis and baking and that sort of requirement, we introduced flour. And also we introduced millet flakes, which was
as I said, these are flakes.
That's right.
Very easy to eat.
It's like a cornflakes.
Yeah.
You can just add a milk and a little bit of honey or something. Your breakfast is ready.
You can add some chopped dry fruits into it.
That's right. Absolutely. You can make it.
Nuts.
So we introduced all the flakes and also we introduced ready to cook mixes. The ready to cook mixes are really good for students who go to studies and the couple who are both working. And it's all millet mix.
What are the products you have in ready to cook?
We have idli. We have a dosa. We have a bisibilla bath. And we have a pongal.
Wow.
And we have upma. We have a noodles. And we also introduce kesari, barnyard kesari.
Wow.
So it's all
amazing variety.
So you got a 200 gram packs, your food is ready in 15 minutes. So we have plans to introduce, now we got about 30 millet products.
Wow.
If you go to the stores, you can find it and they can buy it. And people started using our millets, using the website, learning about it. And it started getting...
I was asking him when he spoke about this range, I was asking, are your products available in India? He said, no, I have not yet started. Right now, only for the Canadian audience. So you guys are lucky, those who are in Canada.
That's right. The way in which we thought about it, myself, my son decided, one is a cost part, because we have to reduce the cost to make it lower to the people. And another one, experience part for my son. So we decided not to employ any distributor, not to employ any driver, transporter or anything. We both decided to ourselves. Right from picking the product, once it lands in Canada from the store, taking the product to the stores and all the collection, all the transportation. Even I used to drive a truck of 26 feet in Canada and get the products from one place to another. Even I converted a little bit of my house. I can accommodate 1 container load of millet in my house.
1 container is how many?
About 15 tons.
15 tons, 15,000 kilograms.
Yeah, that's right.
You have that space in your home.
I have that much space at home.
Wow.
I made it arrangement for that so that I got a warehouse, because once you have 100 stores or more than 100, you should frequently supply, make sure you have enough stock of items.
And you have to keep it rodent free, pest free.
Absolutely. The place is
a challenge.
Food control place and everything. And myself, my son do all the job required for it. And it's a tough job, but I just wanted my son to get the experience of the floor work. Wonderful. How everything happens, how to get to the stores. Even in the store also, people drop the cases and go. We don't do. We take the cases, even put it in the shelf, display it nicely, everything we do it. It's because the whole purpose is make people visible this millet and visible our website so that they can learn out of it, cook from learning tips and out of it, everything.
I mean, this is like Sam asked me, when we walk into a superstore, this morning he asked me, when we walk into a superstore, what is it that catches our eye? And generally, when we walk into a multi kind of faceted superstore, plastics and colors and biscuits and chocolates and those colorful packs just attract us. So here his endeavor is to see that how the millet racks, the millet shelves are seen when you enter the store.
That's right. It's such a healthy food, but it is not given prominent place in the stores. But what are all the snacks and unhealthy food
Correct.
is
Processed.
given lot in the advertisement
Absolutely.
and everything, diverted the attention of the people. So at least I'm not blaming that, but at least let us put efforts to the millet to
Correct.
get up to that level.
True.
So I've been working on it, and it's going. Now we got the current level. We moved from, we used to sell hundreds of kilos. Now we are in 3 to 4 tons a month and
Wow.
things like that.
3 to 4 tons, almost 4,000 kilograms
Kilos a month, and at different forms is moving to. I'm talking about. So once we study Canadian market,
And that is coming from India, by the way.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
that much Indian farmers are empowered.
yeah, that's correct. Okay, so currently the millet is very familiar with Indians and Sri Lankan community,
Okay.
but not popular with other countries' people, like
Okay.
Europeans,
Okay.
or American, Canadians, Africans,
Okay.
even including Pakistanis.
So Canada has a good
It's
population
a good
of all
population
these.
of all. And since I worked with multinational, my colleagues are all other nationalities.
Okay.
So, when it comes to the health, and their health is more important than like our health, it's in the food serve the purpose.
Correct.
So now I'm trying to take the millet to those nationalities as well.
Wonderful.
And explaining to them how, and also the people who saw me 6 months before, they noticed me 1 year before. They look at me, Sam, what happened to you? How you changed? You look young, and oh my goodness, you have a lot of energy now. I said, it's nothing secret. I just started eating millets, and it is working for me. And you
Millets
can
is the answer for
And then they
everything.
said, what do you do with that? Just go to my website, man. You can learn everything out of millets. You can make whatever you want, tasty food. Now those community people also started using it. That's my dream.
That's
So
nice.
once I taken into Canada, then I also started shipping to US.
Okay.
I started shipping to New York, and Mexico, California,
Okay.
Texas. I started shipping people.
So you
are
have
buying-
stores there.
No, now it is going courier via courier. They
to
order
individual
They
families.
order like a 2 months requirements.
Okay.
They order like 30 kgs and 40 kgs and things like that. So I send those boxes to them. But my plan is once I get, because I'm also developing supply chain in India.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we have to make sure that the quality is very
Correct.
important. I'm very picky, hand selecting people to make my product. I visit them personally and select those suppliers because we can get into too much of
Correct.
product, and if the quality drops, that's a problem. So
That's one of the reasons Sam is in India, of course, to meet his family as well as meet farmers who can give him quality millets.
that's correct. So once I develop, then I'm planning to start in US, and of course I got a lot of friends asking in Europe and Middle East, Malaysia, and all these people are talking to me now because they started learning about millet. Just I told them, hold on, and once we develop, we will grow the market and expand it to different places. Once I have a so strong supply chain in India, so that because I don't want to get spoiled with any quality issues. So one side I'm developing the supply chain to provide me high qualities. Another side I'm developing the sales and marketing so that we have a different logistics system than the conventional, so that the cost comes down low, so the end consumer get a benefit out of it. It's sort of educating people also how to buy your millet. Just don't go to the grocery store and buy a 500 gram.
Correct.
Then it's costly for you. And once you started regular food, you can buy even millets are really good. In those countries, it can sit there for 2 years, 3 years if you don't open the packet.
Especially cold countries.
Cold country, it's really good. You can buy for 2 months requirement, 10 kilos and things at a cheap for half the price what you get it, and keep it in your pantry and then use it. It's a basic ingredient for your food.
Correct.
So one side, it requires a lot of educating to the consumer also in the process, how to shop millet. Everybody has to make a small change for better. So that's what we are striving to do it.
Okay.
But we are in the journey, and we see a lot of progress on it now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really absolutely, wonderful to hear of this journey until where you've reached today. Now, what do you see, or where do you see SNV millets in the future? Let's say the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
How do you see it? Where do you see it?
See, the way which we are looking at, I want the millets to be the basic ingredients in every household, and people started using minimum 50% millet as their food. In order to make sure this become a staple food, I want to bring all varieties of millets. Because even if you look at the grain, you have organic millets, you have a normal millet, you have parboiled millets, and similarly you go to flour, and then there is also people already soak the millet. It's called activated millet.
Okay.
You know what happened? The millet already soaked 8 hours and then drained and then packed.
Okay.
So then you don't need a soaking time.
Okay.
You can open the packet in 15 minutes. You can start cooking on. So I wanted to bring different types of.
But how is the shelf life if it's wet or it's kind of dried?
No, it's dried very well.
Dried
Everything you normal, but it's only soaked and dried fully.
Okay.
So that can be used for without soaking. You can use cooking. So my future plan is to meet all people requirements.
Okay.
Some have a time, can soak, they can buy that millet. Some don't have a time, they want to use it right away, use this activated millet. So I wanted to bring a millet all formats, flour all formats, flakes, ready to cook, and snacks. Even millet can come up with excellent snacks and millet drinks, millet milk and things like that. So my dream is one day like have a millet store.
Wow.
And if you go to millet store, there are about hundreds of millet items.
So you have only millet products
only millet.
there.
You start with the grain and you end with the snacks. You just go around and pick your product, what do you need it, and you do millet shopping. That's right. And you take care of this is what myself, my son striving towards. We should be able to add value for meeting the different requirements of people. Okay, so that even right from a child, they love, I want that snack, I want that laddu. So, okay, that's a millet laddu. Elder people, they want porridges. Okay, this is you buy it. So it should meet it to all age of people, all families. That's what we wanted to bring more millet product. And also on the side, we wanted to bring some nutritional stuff adding into millet, like a millet palm jaggery and things like that. It's part of the nutritional field, which we are thinking about.
Yeah, you require jaggery or sweeteners, natural sweeteners to make recipes with millets.
Which is also we are planning to do in our SNV brand. But sourcing is very important, finding a right quality and everything. So which we will be adding on. This is what we are thinking about. Any part of the world you enter, including India, millets are available in every grocery store. All form, it's part of life. How the rice is today made available to people, we should make sure the millets are made available to the people. And in order to do that, 3 things are very, very important. Number 1, cost. Make sure you button down your supply chain. Whole transaction process more efficient. From farming to the shop, to the kitchen. It should be streamlined. No non-value added, nothing. Everything done in the best way possible. So the cost is optimal. Farmer get a good price, customer get a good price. The in between do the best job. That's one thing. Number 2, the quality should be the topmost, the best quality.
No compromise on quality.
Compromise. And the third one is the service. If you can take care of the 3, I think this will go definitely long way. And this can be a stable food. And millet can come back. It is more popular than rice.
Amazing. It was absolutely amazing to hear the story from you. And we are personally happy, myself and Lakshmanan. And for the benefit of the audience, if any of you are watching from Canada or US, do go through the website, that is Sam's website, which we are giving in the link above for you. And if you're interested in ordering millets online, you can do that through their website. And Munch and Mull is extremely happy to be collaborating with SNV Millets, and where I will be sharing my expertise in, sharing the various millet-based recipes that I have been making at home. And in particularly for these recipes, I will be using their products, SNV Millet products. So do watch out for the upcoming episodes on Munch and Mull.
Since 4 years, I've been consistently eating millets. I'm the one used to get common cold once in 2 or 3 months and suffer for a week with all the problems associated with the cold, cough and everything. I'm telling you, you won't believe, 4 years, I get a cold, but it goes away in 24 hours. I never had even a medicine or throat infection or anything. That shows this product create immunity into your body. Even I came from Canada, landed here, I might have taken a cold water or something. By the time I reached Tanjavur, I got a cold running nose. I never taken any medicine, just take a little hot water. In 24 hours, I got dried, I'm back to normal. That sort of immunity it gives your body. So I request everyone, please start looking into learn about the material, learn about the cooking, enjoy the food, and pass on to the generation and small kids, everybody. So our responsibility is very important, how we are going to transfer the planet to the next generation the best way possible.
Very true.
Just another very, very important thing in the whole journey is we need everybody's support on the process.
Very true.
It's not just I play like if you look at like a relay race, all the 4 teams has to run fast that it become a success. I'm just one round doing it. There are 3 other people are doing the rounds on that one. So I want everybody, right from farmer, do the best and produce organic and things quality millet. The processor keep the facility good and do an excellent processing and get the product there. And then the logistic people and distribution store the product and transport it properly. And then the big support, we do the sales and marketing. And another very important people like you come up with an excellent recipes and help the people and all these things. This is a teamwork, and also people have to think about converting from the rice or wheat to millet for their own good health, and also not only for their own good health but for the planet health. And that's going to save a lot for your future generation. What you are doing amazing now, creating a next generation for a healthier life. So I look for everybody count on it. I can play a role of mine. As I said, relay race, I can only go fast in my round. But I need all the 3 to do the same so that the team wins on that one. So hoping for the best.
Thank you so much, Sam. It was a pleasure interacting with you, and it is indeed a pleasure collaborating with you. And we wish SNV Millets a very, very bright future, especially in improving the life of farmers and consumers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, have you subscribed to Munch and Mull? Do click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive notifications of my newest videos uploaded every Saturday.